I thank the President. Mr. President, I'm here this afternoon to join the voices of my colleagues, Democrats and Republicans, on making sure this process that's going to continue to play out over the next several days is a fair one. Now, I will say to people right now, I'm not for Judge Kavanaugh. I don't believe that his decisions and his views are in the mainstream of judicial opinion in the United States of America. I believe that not just about a woman's right to choose. I believe that not just about his decision on net neutrality. I definitely believe that about his decision on executive branch power. So my views are known. Would I like to expound on them if I thought that that's what we were here to debate today? And maybe that will happen in the future. But I'm here this afternoon to ask my colleagues to think about this issue of sexual assault in a new way. Not a new way like you've never thought of it before, but in a way that says it's time for us to slow down and have a nonpartisan investigation into the accusations that have been made by 3 women. The reason that's so important is because the last several days have been comments of she's mixed up or confused or can't remember. And I will tell you this, I guarantee you any woman in the United States of America who has been assaulted remembers she was assaulted. Now, she may not remember exactly what the person was wearing. She may not remember every person that was there, but I guarantee you it is seared into their mind, into their heart, into their soul that they have been assaulted. And the question before us in the United States Senate is, are we going to take serious the process and not rush it to a conclusion, not join the ranks of other institutions who have swept allegations under the rug? Now, we all know where the Catholic Church is today, with information and documentations of accusations that people decided, no, those couldn't be true. No, we don't have to listen. No, we can do something about it. When I think about the fact that at least 332 victims were abused by one person in the gymnastics program at Michigan State, and people said we don't have to pay attention to that. When I think about what happened at Penn State to young boys, that people denied that this couldn't be what's happening with Jerry Sandusky, it couldn't possibly be happening. This is a cultural problem. I've heard statistics anywhere from 20% of women in the United States of America have faced sexual abuse, to a website by the Center of Disease Control that says it's 1 in 3 women. 1 in 3 women in the United States of America has faced sexual assault or abuse. And we don't think it's a crisis? I'm pretty sure there's more women in the United States of America who've been the victims of sexual assault than the opioid crisis, yet we call that a crisis. What are we doing to make sure we are not like other institutions who have not fully addressed this issue? We do not want to be the ones that rush through a process that says a vote on the Supreme Court is more important than getting the truth. We need a nonpartisan investigation into the facts of these allegations against this Supreme Court nominee. When I think of the tragedy that faces Native American women, it breaks my heart. That over 50% of Native American women have faced sexual assault and abuse. 50%. How is that not a crisis? How is that not a crisis? So my colleagues, I know, do not think that they are doing damage. They think they're sticking up for a nominee. They think they're sticking up for somebody that their team, their bench, pulled out of the ranks of their party or their background suggest that he should be part of that. I get your desire. But the desire today has to be that we do not make the same mistakes as other institutions, that we pay attention to these things and we take them seriously. I implore my colleagues to do so. Why? Because every victim in the United States of America who thinks that you are not giving these accusations their due is offended in the way that society does not take this crisis seriously. So I implore my colleagues, I know you think you're playing on a political scorecard to get something done for your party, but please, please make sure we have a thorough, nonpartisan investigation into these accusations so we can tell victims of sexual assault in the United States of America, we treated these accusations seriously, we did our job, there is no rush but the actual facts that we can move forward on. I know we can have lots more conversations about this. I know we can, and we should. And we should. We have had these conversations with the Violence Against Women Act and made sure that Native American women were covered under that law. A tricky problem in the federal law that made a gap even worse by not having the aid and support. And now with federal help and support, with Indian trial courts, we've created a better system to bring those perpetrators of those crimes to justice. But we can, as an institution, also come to terms with that this is a cultural problem in the United States of America, and we too must do our part. We must help. We must not keep re-injuring people by saying we're not going to take the time to find the truth. So I implore my colleagues, please, and for those of you who have spoken out, like my colleague from Arizona, thank you. Thank you for helping us get to the truth in this matter. Thank you for standing up for women, for men, for Indian country who have faced this abuse, and make sure that this institution moves in a serious but deliberate and cautious path and does not spend its time tomorrow prosecuting a woman, but listening to the facts and information that she gives. I thank the President, and I yield the floor.